I think the sooner you get him out there, the sooner you will get him up to speed. And of course, he can hit passes like this. He has a big arm, and that pass was more scheme than it was necessarily him dissecting a defense. But I think what they want from him is to be able to make something when nothing is there. That's the big reason why they brought him in, because if they wanted a quarterback who can perform kind of like a robot, they would keep Jimmy Garoppolo and would hope that he would stay healthy. But what they brought him in there for is that he can potentially take them to the next level, that Mahomes level stuff, where if it's not drawn up, he can roll out and make something out of nothing.
That's for sure. But how quickly is the question? What do you think, Tannenbaum?
I would wait. We got to have some context here. That was his first game in 315 days. And I'm encouraged that 80-yard pass, that's something very few players could do, Greeny. But some of the decision-making, it has to be quicker. That's going to come, that's rust. It's going to come from experience and play time. So you have Jimmy G there. I don't think we have to rush this decision.
And not only hasn't he played a game in a long time, but that was the only game he played last year. So he's played one game in the last 2 years. Again, his team only played, they basically created a one-game showcase for him last season, and that was it. So no fault of his own. He hasn't had any playing time. What did you see, Sacho?
Yeah, I saw talent. I mean, that pass that, Nick, I get it. Like, it was 100% a scheme pass. Like, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. But it was 49 yards in the air, right? Like, not every quarterback can make that pass. To put it into context, last year, a pass like that was completed 1 out of every 3 times. So, yes, 80-yard touchdown we all love, but 49 yards in the air, like, that's what I saw. I saw talent. I saw speed. I saw decision-making. I also saw a rookie quarterback who was a little bit getting sacked and trying to figure out what to do. But I saw flashes, and I think all that we wanted to see, at least all that I wanted to see, was flashes, especially in that offense.
Well, if we look at some of the rookies that we've touched on so far, Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, all kidding aside, they're not thinking Super Bowl thoughts realistically in those cities. This team is, Dominique. So how does that factor into all of this? The fact that this is a team that if they stay healthy, they're thinking Super Bowl thoughts.
Right. I mean, I think that you could argue either side because you don't want to be thrown off course by a rookie quarterback kind of progressing early in the season and maybe lose a couple games. But if you came to the conclusion that you need someone who can elevate your offense to win a Super Bowl, then they need to get that guy up to speed. And you know what he's not going to get when the season starts is any reps. The starting quarterback gets all the reps during regular season. So all this stuff about getting comfortable and getting better, that happens now, but it's not going to happen in the regular season unless he is QB1. And that's why I think he needs to be QB1. The sooner you can get him to a level where he's comfortable in NFL offenses, the better chance you have of blowing the roof off of this offense and winning a championship, because it doesn't appear that they're going to be able to do that with Jimmy Garoppolo.
I'm with that. It doesn't necessarily mean to me that it has to be week 1, but Tannenbaum, super quick. Who starts week 1 is one thing. How about the first playoff game? Give me the crystal ball. If they make the playoffs, who's the starting quarterback in their first playoff game?
Jimmy G. They're 24-9 when he's a starter. Okay. Win for today and develop for tomorrow.
I saw a young quarterback with limited experience that needs to get more experience, because I think we all accept that the reason why they went and got Trey Lance was because they believe that there's a cap on their offense with Jimmy Garoppolo, and they also don't believe that he can stay healthy. So I think the sooner you get him reps, the better this team will be and the better he'll be. So he showed some rust, and it speaks to the fact that he played against a lower level of competition in college and hasn't played in a long time. So I feel like this shouldn't be discouraging for the future of Trey Lance and the future of this team. This should just encourage them to get him out there with the ones more and more often and get him as ready as they can as soon as they can.
Well, here's a team, Sacho, because we were talking earlier today about Justin Fields. Who gives them the best chance to win quickly? What are we thinking about long term? This is a Super Bowl potential team. So who gives them the best chance to win? If they're going to win big this year, who's it going to be with as their quarterback?
If they're going to win big, it's going to be with Jimmy G. Now, I believe those are two questions, right? You said, okay, I think that Trey Lance does have a higher ceiling, right? Mm-hmm. The potential is athleticism. But let's not forget, 2 years ago, this San Francisco team was in the Super Bowl. And yes, Jimmy G was hurt, so we didn't get a chance to see them win that Super Bowl. But a healthy Jimmy G gives them a great chance. But that's the big qualifier. Is he healthy? If Jimmy G is not healthy, Trey Lance is an unbelievable backup option. Why? Because he could start. Trey Lance threw a 49-yard dart in the air. That's completed less than 1 out of 3 times in the NFL last year. So that's what he can do. He's fast. He can move. But also, Jimmy G is like really, really good. So I think San Francisco's in a really great position. I think that a healthy Jimmy Garoppolo gives them a great chance to win a Super Bowl. But also, I will say this. We saw what San Francisco did back in 2012 or so, where they had Alex Smith and a really good defense, a really good team, and they made the switch. to Colin Kaepernick
Right.
and went to the Super Bowl. So let's not forget, like that's always in the back of my mind. Like you've got this Trey Lance thing where it's like, man, I know that Jimmy G is good, but what if you get a Colin Kaepernick, a Trey Lance type of guy to go and take you to be great?
The problem with Garoppolo is that his being injured is
Right.
far too frequent, and there isn't any question who the quarterback of this team eventually is going to be.
Correct.
The question is, how soon does eventually happen?
Yeah, and I think it could take a little while into the season, assuming Jimmy Garoppolo can stay healthy, at least for part of the season. I think he'll continue to have the job because this Trey Lance, dazzling ability, and we understand why they took him. Dominique's absolutely correct. I hate saying that, but it's true. Kyle Shanahan believes he can elevate the ceiling for him at the quarterback position beyond anyone he's had before, and he can't trust Jimmy Garoppolo to stay healthy. Those are the two reasons that he is there. But he looked like a guy that has only played one game in the last year and a half, which is what he is, right? I mean, and they said
That's
that when
correct.
they draft him. So he needs more time, more experience before they feel comfortable with him as their starter. And in the meantime, my understanding is Jimmy Garoppolo has had a good camp, and they feel as good about him as they did going into last year before everybody got hurt.
Neek, final word.
This is actually the hardest decision, I feel like, out of all of the who to start or who to sit, because I agree that Jimmy Garoppolo is probably a better choice for them to win games early in the season. But we all accept that a better choice for them to win a championship is a guy who can elevate them. And the sooner that you get him out there, the sooner that Trey Lance will get to that level. So it's a tough decision to make. Do you go with the conservative route or do you go for the home run? And I think when you're in this game, as difficult as it is, you get a guy out there who can hit a home run, which makes your life easier. As a coach, makes your offensive line and your receivers and makes your defense's life easier. Everything has to be kind of set up for Jimmy G for them to win a Super Bowl. Not the same for a guy with the potential of Trey Lance.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.